One of the fundamental questions that is inherent in most religious teaching is the notion of good and evil, and the question of, are people inherently good, inherently evil, or is it a mix? Are some people born good, some people born evil? And it feels a little presumptuous for me to try and answer the question decisively. But what occurs to me when I consider it is that in nature, good and evil don't make sense as distinctions. A jaguar who hunts down its prey, a cheetah who hunts down its prey, is no more evil than the wildebeest who gets captured is good. It's just nature, and then we impose an opinion on it, a sense of good, bad, right, wrong. And so it seems to me that the very notion of good and evil only exists in the human mind. And if something only exists in the human mind, it can't be part of our true nature. Which does beg the question, well, if there isn't such a thing as inherent evil, how can people do such evil things? And it's a two-part answer. The first part, I suspect, will be less satisfying, even if maybe even a little more accurate than the second part. And the first part is, they don't do evil things. They do things that we experience, that we think of as evil. Let me go on to the second part. The reason that people would behave that way, the only reason that people would behave that way, is because the world they are living inside of makes it seem either like there's no choice but to behave that way. Well, what am I going to do? If I don't kill, I'm going to be killed. Well, what am I going to do if I don't punish them, I will be punished. So it becomes almost like a survival strategy in their mind. Or the world they live in is so distorted that other people don't seem to be like them. We all have a little bit of us and them in our thinking. Well, I'm like this and other people are like that. Well, I'm good, they're bad, or I'm bad, they're good, or whatever version of it we have. But if that thinking carries on unrecognized but believed, then it starts going to extremes. I matter, they don't. My needs are worthwhile, their needs are inconsequential. The safety of me and mine is far more important than the safety of them and theirs. And if you look at the history of propaganda in wartime, you'll see that propaganda is everywhere, whether in Nazi Germany, cutting pictures and film of rats scurrying with Jews being herded, to kind of create this thought-created reality where, oh, it's okay, because they're less than us. They're not even really human, they're subhuman. And you find that propaganda everywhere, where one group is the group that matters, the groups whose needs are important and must be served, and the other group don't, for whatever reason. So if we want less evil in the world, we could say, accurately, but again, perhaps not helpfully, stop labeling things as evil and just see them as they are. But again, perhaps more helpfully, we can begin to wake up to our own thought-created realities. We can begin to see beyond the edges of the world that we've created in our own mind. We can begin to see separate realities, that everybody is doing what makes sense to them, given the way the world looks to them, and that the way the world looks to them is a function of the thoughts that they believe, the thoughts that seem true, the thoughts that don't seem like thoughts. They seem like part of the fabric of reality. And the more we wake up to that in ourselves, for some reason that I chalk up to the kindness of the design, the more everyone around us seems to notice it in themselves, almost like a resonance. But the more asleep we are to it in ourselves, the more asleep everybody around us seems to stay as well. So it's an interesting notion, not one I hear talked about a lot, but one I will stand by. That if you really want to help eradicate evil in the world, the first step is to wake up to your own thinking, to wake up to your own thought-created reality, and see what happens in the world around you.